the stockpickprofits.com market daily update. Let's go ahead and post the market numbers while we give everybody a chance to sign on. Don't forget to read the disclaimer. The disclaimer, very important, good information in there, very, very legal. Past performance is no indicator of future performance. We are not registered investment advisors. Nothing in this broadcast is an offer to buy or sell any securities. Please read the rest of the disclaimer and make sure that you know what's going on. But we'll give everybody a couple seconds to sign on here. I'm going to grab a coffee while we do. Okay, gang. So we're all coffeeed up and we've got a few viewers on, so let's go ahead and get started. Jeff, you're here. What's the difference? Okay. So, hey, it was a pretty interesting day in the market today. Huh? In fact, let's put those numbers back up and take a look at them. Dow ended up 136 points up. Nice gain today after yesterday. Was up as much as 192 points. No, we got plenty of power right now. But in the S&P was up another 15, 16 points. And that's a nice recovery from yesterday. It took back 2,900 and closed above it, which is ever so important. And the NASDAQ had a good day. Tech is back, looks like, right? Is it really back? It looked like it was back, even with the chip makers, with the chip stocks having a tough day. NASDAQ had a real strong day. So in the Russell 2K, your small caps, generally that's the way it happens with the small caps. You know, the small caps are almost like a leading indicator in a sense. America is built on small business. So your smaller stocks are critical to your market big rallies. What you got today in your big markets, a lot of it is the byproduct of the work that your Russell did previously, and we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, right? You know, even though we're having these red market days, the Russell's been kind of chugging along, so it makes sense. The small caps had a little pullback, and that VIX, man, that thing is down in those 12s again. Very nice. We like that. And so let's kind of move on to the old agenda here. So, you know, we're still not hearing much about government shutdowns and stuff, are we? We're waiting for that to kind of pop into the news cycle. The news cycle is kind of overwhelmed again today, and it was interesting news. We'll talk about that in a second. What they whistle here. But that government shutdown is definitely looming, so we got to keep an eye on that, okay? We're in a nice bullish trend right now, and we're in some very profitable trades. We'll talk about those in a second. But that government shutdown could be a monkey wrench, so we want to keep an eye on that. The trade talk again was it was big, but it wasn't as big as some of the news that we're going to talk about. But again, yesterday we got those words from President Trump that he was scheduling these meetings with the Chinese, and that buoyed the market up, right? And we got a nice little rally to open the market today. Then in some off-the-cuff statements, he kind of said, well, we're not in a rush to make a deal with the Chinese, which of course kind of tempered things down. Now, tech at that point had decided it was going up, and it did. You saw maybe about 10:30, 11 o'clock, the tech index, the NASDAQ, actually came and breached that 8,000 level, and it breached it pretty solidly, but it bounced right back up. It just showed tech was raring to go. You know, it was a good day for tech, and we're long tech, so we're happy about that. Now, what happened in this process was you saw your steel stocks, right, Jeff? You saw your steel stocks at the open. They had a real nice open, X, AKS, Nucor, all those. And then when the Trump statement came out, boom, they kind of fell back. And that was because you know that trade is based on that Chinese deal there. So we, us steel players, we need that to come through. Yeah, you know, and that's a big thing about the border shutdown, right? I mean, if he doesn't get his wall, he said he's going to shut down the government. You know, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. You know, the Democrats got a bigger task on their plate right now, and they're really having a lot of trouble with it. And it's this Supreme Court nomination. Yeah, let me just talk about that for a second. because it is important. It's in big news cycle. Evidently today, Dianne Feinstein from California passed a letter on to the FBI or the Justice Department or whoever the hell they deal with. God knows what's going on in our intelligence community right now. But, you know, she passed a letter on, and she released a kind of vague statement that this is something to do with an event between Kavanaugh and some young lady when he was back in high school, which is, of course, is decades ago. It plays right into the Me Too movement, which immediately starts fanning flames, and you start getting this craziness. But nobody's seen the letter. We got a statement from Chuck Grassley a few minutes ago, or not a couple hours ago, and he stated that he'll respect the privacy of the submitter, and he hasn't seen what's in the letter either. So evidently 3 people have seen the lawyer, but the young lady has enlisted the services of a very popular Me Too attorney. So there might be something to this, there might not be something to this. But look, let me just clarify this for all our viewers, okay? You know, we like to make you smarter traders watching this show. I'm going to tell you 2 dates, and that's all you need to know about this Supreme Court hearing, nomination hearing, okay? 2 dates, okay? September 20th and October 1st. On September 20th, Chuck Grassley will push the vote in the Judicial Committee, and he will get the vote passed on to the complete Congress, okay? And it will pass. And by October 1st, Kavanaugh will be a sitting Supreme Court justice, okay? Democrats had a very, very good chance at stopping this nomination, but they decided to turn it into crazy. We had our Spartacus moment. We had our bullshit questioning that was intended to create sound bites for campaigns, not to stop a nomination. They dropped the ball. They really did. They dropped the ball. Now, this last ditch by Dianne Feinstein, we'll see how this plays out, because we're not going to make any judgments until we see what's in that letter. We know what's absolutely in that letter. I'll get to your question in a second, Roland. But, you know, again, just like everything else, since Donald Trump has been elected president, we keep telling you, we don't count on unnamed sources. You know what I mean? And unless we see it, we don't believe it, okay? One thing that you can't argue with Donald Trump right now is that the intelligence, what do you call them? The intelligence community, it is an absolute shit show right now, okay? It's the Keystone Cops. It seems like it's run by Inspector Clouseau, and it's just a joke. I mean, look, if it's really true that people have no faith in your local police and your local law enforcement, you should have absolutely less faith in these federal guys, okay? Because they've just been a crap show from the beginning. Leaks and bullshit. That's all it's been. And then they just got caught in a bunch of them, right? With these texts. You can't argue with a text. So we'll see how that plays out. But, you know, the 20th and the 10th and the 1st. The 20th is the date that Chuck Grassley has the vote scheduled for the Judicial Committee. They push it through committee. It goes to the full vote. It only takes a few days after that. 10-1 is when the Supreme Court will reconvene, and he will be sitting in that seat. You heard it here first. So let's talk about some stocks, okay? You know, the news cycle is important, and we always talk about the news cycle. But look, we trade, we're building wealth, okay? Ask a guy like Kona, man. What's important? What's important, Kona? Building wealth, right? All this grandstanding and all this stuff is great to read, and it's a lot of fun, and it you know, and it's emotional, and it pits people against people. It's great conversation stuff, as long as you don't get violent and stuff. And anyway, we're not going to touch that one. But, you know, it's all fun and stuff. But really, ask a guy like Kona. What is important, Kona? Making money, right? And that's all we care about. So let's get into what makes money. Let's talk about stocks. In fact, let's start with you, Kona, because you had sent us over a message today. You had went short on AMD. AMD was quite the story today, huh, Kona? They started off with a bang. For you new traders, AMD, of course, is a chip stock like your Micron and stuff. And it's one of your big ones. It started off the day beautiful green. By the end of the day, it was having its worst day in like years. So it was really an interesting turnaround. And I don't think it was news driven or anything, right? We were looking for news on it and we just couldn't find anything. And, then we got the text from you, Kona, and we're like, hey, I went short AMD. We're like, hey, go get somebody. As a service right now, we're not playing the chip stocks yet, but we're looking. We're looking for bottoms on this one. Good job catching that going down, Kona. That's beautiful, man. It's all about making money, like we said, and you made some. But, as far as what we're looking at chip stocks, we're looking for a little bottom here, maybe on AMD or something. Be careful with AMD. It's up pretty well after hours. I don't know if you cash that in, but be careful carrying that one because you know how AMD is. It's got a lot of analyst support. It's got a lot of stock shareholder support. So it can turn around pretty quick, but it was a good trade. That was a good call. The other one we're looking at, Kona, and for all of you chip players, we're watching Micron right now. There might be a play in there too or something, maybe a Broadcom or something like that. And that leads us into another stock we've been talking to our viewers about. And Jeff likes this one, Iridium, IRDM. Iridium's a satellite company, almost like your T-Mobiles and stuff, but a little bit more advanced. Iridium has a lot more going for it than just like a mobile telecom or something. It had a little pullback today, but again, IRDM, it was just like a lot of stocks today. It had that big pop in that first 15, 20 minutes, and then it kind of just tapered down the rest of the day. It never really caught back on IRDM, but it's still a good play, Jeff. It hasn't lost any technical levels, and if we were in the play like you are, we'd be holding on right now too. And I think you said that you were going long and strong, yeah? So what went right with the market today? Well, what we told you would go right yesterday, Apple. Remember what we told you? About this guy in Omaha. There's this crazy old man in Omaha, and he does pretty well with stocks. And what he does with Apple is every time it goes down a couple percent, he buys more. Why would he do that? How would he be one of the richest men on the planet doing that? Huh? I mean, according to the pundits yesterday, Apple is dead meat, right? And then the articles that came out after the market last night were all iPhone's too expensive, this and that. They're gonna have problems with the watch and this and that. But yet it just rocked again. So we always talk about this. One day doesn't make the market. Okay, you see us when we're on this show on a day when you guys have seen it, on a day when the market's down 700 points, our mood is still the same as when it's up 700 points. Just like the Oracle of Omaha. Who am I talking about? Warren Buffett, man. Warren Buffett. Warren knows how to do it. You want to be the best? Imitate the best, man. And that's what we do. That's what we like to do. Is that okay if I post that, Kona? Just so the other viewers know, because look, we got a lot of people that watch the show that aren't experienced traders and stuff. And a guy like Kona is an experienced trader, and I just like to share what he's up to too. We like it to be all about us, but it's all about you. So that's what you're in. Let me just take a look here. In at 36. Okay. You think it's going down to 25, huh? That's interesting. I'll take a look at the chart tomorrow and I'll kind of give you my feedback. But let's get back to what saved the market. Apple saved the market, man. Look at that product show yesterday. If you have the kind of support network that we have, if you were in our group, we posted the live link to the Apple show, and we all kind of participated in it, watched it, and enjoyed it. It was fabulous. Remember what we always tell you about the FANG stocks? Dump your FANG, aga. But the team and I discussed it yesterday, and we were going to share this in yesterday's show, but we're sharing it today. We're changing aga. Aga is now, get ready, Samuel will love this one, MAGA. I know Samuel likes to hear MAGA. But what that means is we want Apple, right? We want Amazon, we want Google. We're adding another one to it, Microsoft. Think about it. Best software company in the world, best commerce company in the world, best hardware company in the world, right? And the best technology data miner in the world. That's a trade to win by. MAGA. That's our trade, the MAGA trade. And you hear about it, right? The Trump trade is the MAGA trade, right? It's now the stockpickprofits.com FANG stocks. All right. So you guys that love tech and you want to buy something and hold it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, that's what you do. Buy those for. Is tech back? We think so. We don't think it ever left. There's a lot of people yesterday, especially a lot of people been crapping on tech, and a lot of it's based on that social media hearings and stuff. Trust me, social media stocks are not that important besides Facebook. And if Facebook went away, nobody noticed. Trust me. Well, okay, we'd notice. We broadcast on it. But what I mean by that is, as a sector, you see, look at today. The chip sector was really having trouble, right? The financials were really having trouble. Consumer staples had a lot of trouble today. Really, they were the three red sectors. But the market had a fantastic day. Why? Because the chips are a little bit influential, but they're not as influential as your technology, your true technology stocks, your Googles, your Apples, and stuff like that. Twitter, no different than MySpace, okay? If it's gone tomorrow, there'll be a replacement by Saturday, okay? Probably with Facebook too. There's probably Facebook replaced MySpace. Why couldn't something replace Facebook? But what if Apple went away tomorrow? What if Google went away tomorrow? What if Amazon went away tomorrow? Then you got a problem, right? So is tech back? It never left, okay? And so we're still bullish on that. Look, let's kind of go over our trades before we get into the questions and comments. We're still along those Qs. Those are looking nice. We're still along XLK, which is a technology ETF. We're loving technology right now. We think tomorrow we get a nice follow-through movement, unless we get something serious in the news cycle, which we don't anticipate. We're still long gold. Gold had a real good open today, right? But then when that Trump statement came out, it just kind of tapered off the rest of the day. We're going to stay with that trade, though. We like gold going forward. We think there's some serious resolution coming with this trade stuff. And Trump's been a little bit too quiet. And even today's statement was just it's a little restrained for what we're used to from President Trump. So we're kind of trying to read the tea leaves here, and that's a lot of what your trading is, reading the tea leaves, understanding what the market's saying to you, because it's always telling us what it's going to do. It's just sometimes you're not listening properly. Almost like meditation, they say you need to get real quiet, right? So you can hear the spirituality. It'll speak to you. Same thing with the market. The market's always telling us something. Everything it does, it's telling us something about what's going to happen. And you just have to get used to reading the tea leaves. And we don't foresee anything really big monkey wrenches. Even this Feinstein note really didn't get that much play. I think people are just at the point after the Booker scene and the Kamala Harris taking all those statements out of context and turning it into an edited campaign thing that was just not true. I think people are at the point where they just don't believe anything that these people say at all. Okay. And we're kind of at that point, right? So look, if you're having trouble reading the tea leaves, we can help you. Okay. You click that link and come on over and get involved. Glenn, welcome. First time we've seen you, Glenn. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you, man. So, let's cover the trade ideas real quick before we go straight to the questions, and then we're going to call it a Thursday. It's excuse me. It's this whole trade thing is real important, and it's starting to take shape. The Supreme Court thing is a done deal. Okay, it's just not going to happen. And thank you. Thank you so much, Kona. You're a big part of that, dude. If you guys don't share stuff, we don't have a lot to talk about. But right now we're in a really good position we like for the market. We've been saying it for the last few days. September is traditionally your worst month in the market, but the fourth quarter is traditionally your best quarter. So what, in simple terms, does that tell you? Well, in simple terms, it tells you September is the first month of the fourth quarter. So if the market goes down then, but by the end of the fourth quarter, it's up. Guess what? Then that's your buying opportunity. So we were buying into those dips the last couple of days, and it looks like we're going to make some big money on it. Snap. You guys are probably all wondering about Snap, right? Everybody else on the planet ran like hell from Snap yesterday. What did we do? We went long. Guess what? We're up about 30% on that trade. And we're sitting on contracts where we can get some really, really cheap shares. Hey, we got a lot of good. The best thing about options is when they play towards their word, their name, options. At the end, you should have some options, and we've got some good options. Like I said again, if you're not getting this kind of good advice, if all your friends were telling you and everybody was telling you run from Snap yesterday, and we went into it and we actually make 30, 35, who knows what we'll make on this. Snap had a nice close today. Maybe you should be clicking that link. You need a better support network. Anyways, look, guys, welcome Jesse too. Let's go over the questions. No more nonsense about the SCOTUS hearings. Okay, that's turned into quite the shit show. We don't even want to talk about it anymore. Nah, Jeff. Look, okay. So for you guys that are concerned, the hurricane has passed. It's like a tropical depression. A few minutes ago, we got flash flood warnings on our phone from the government, but I'm looking out the window and little cloudy, but it's not even raining anymore. So I think we passed that. So you guys that were concerned, nope, didn't lose the power. Yesterday, we had a couple flickers, and I think the show was a little buggy, but other than that, we're okay. And Flo, Rick, welcome, Flory. And then, build the wall. That's the big thing with this potential government shutdown. We have to be leery of this, that this is around the corner, and it is very serious. And we think Trump's not going to mess around like he did on the omnibus budget. We got to be aware of this coming up. So even like with our tech trades that are starting to get real nice and profitable and stuff, we're going to look to cash these out, protect the profits, because you never know. If that news hits, that's going to hit sudden, and it's going to be a quick drop. So this is a great question. Roland, my buddy Roland. Roland's a member. Hey, Pat, what and where is the best, fastest way to catch all important news? There's a couple of ways we do this, Roland. In the trade room. One, we'll turn on Fox News and turn off the sound. And I've talked about this before. I know a lot of liberal viewers and stuff are going to say, oh my God, Fox News. Fox News, you'll find, is the best cryons. And that's all you want is the cryons and the breaking news alerts. Too many times we've been on CNN and they've been so infatuated, especially back when, you remember the plane disappeared in Malaysia? And they were just doing 24-hour coverage on all stupid things about planes. There was a couple of news alerts that happened that the cryon came on. We used to run the two TVs back then, one with Fox, one with CNN. And we stopped with the CNN because the cryons were coming through on Fox quick and they weren't coming through on CNN. So we go with Fox. You guys can say what you want about Fox, but the cryons are super. And then that's what we do. We just turn off the sound. We leave the set on because you'll see the flash breaking news and you just check what the breaking news is. The other way to do it is you can go to ap.com or you can go to reuters.com. And you can sign up for alerts, or you can just leave it on your screen on a page and it actually live scrolls any news. Problem with that, Roland, is, especially for somebody who's not a long-term trader, is most of that news is irrelevant. And you got to be able to quickly visually decipher it. So I would stick with the cryons, or the other thing that we really, really enjoy, and call us nerds if you want, we like to watch C-SPAN. I don't know if you guys watch C-SPAN, but it's the best. No commentators. Jesus Christ, what a relief. Let's see. And then, yes, Roland, those are your two important dates now on the SCOTUS confirmation, on Kavanaugh's confirmation. We'll see what happens with this letter, but we're not going to believe anything until we see. And more felons on. I know, right? It's funny, though, right? None of them have D's after their name. The D's keep getting accused, but only the R's are going to jail. Wonder why that works out that way. And then, let's see. Oh, nice. So, Jeff, yeah, you went a little deeper on X. We're already in X pretty deep. We've been deep for a few months now, back from the $19 level. But we just opened up those options, some call options on it too. Yeah, and go short on a paper towel. And Kona, thank you, man. Thank you for coming up too. And yeah, Fox News. Look, like I said, all you people can argue all you want about evil empires and Sean Hannity having a relationship with Russia and stuff like that. Whatever. And Coulter and anything you want to, whatever. You want to nitpick. But you're asking me how to get those alerts as fast as you can. You turn on Fox News. Okay. Turn off your bias and turn on your news. I like that. I'm going to copyright that. Let me see. We got a lot of comments today. Thanks, guys. It's great. So yeah, I mean, I think I got everything. So let's kind of just run down the show real quick, and then we'll call it a Thursday. Good Friday looking coming in here tomorrow. Towards the end of the day, those of you that watch the tick by tick like we do, nice 5-minute push on the last 5 minutes of the market. It was really nice, very encouraging, especially in Snap and stuff, right? Snap went back up and retook that 935 level, which is really nice. I did. I'm not sure how that's relevant right now, though. Yes, magic mushrooms they're trying to legalize magic mushrooms, and they're trying to legalize it for medicinal reasons. And the only reason I say that is because look how long it's taken with pot. And magic mushrooms are considered a heavy hallucinogen. So I'm not sure. You got to be careful with something like this because one, it's a hallucinogen. It's a little bit different. It's a chemical hallucinogen, unlike marijuana, which is an organic depressant, really. That's the technical category of it. But there's going to have to be a lot of psychological research along with the physical research. And what I mean by that is, how does it affect these people mentally? Because we've all taken magic mushrooms in our life, right? Okay, I know. No. I've never taken magic mushrooms in my life. Okay, I'm a liar. We've all dabbled, right, when we were younger. And magic mushrooms are kind of a different thing, man. And they say they're going to be legalized. So yeah, you guys are right. There might be an opportunity in here. And look, this is really the smart way to do it. Like what the office says. You want to start looking to it now, and we're already researching it. And if you guys want, I'll share the report with you. I'll put the link in here. I still have it on my thing. But you want to get ahead of the game, right? Just like we did with the weed, right? We saw all these legislations and all this good stuff happening to weed. And so we started investing in weed, 2 years ago with United Cannabis and stuff. And the same thing with the magic mushrooms. If you want to get a head start on it, now is the time, because once they start legalizing it, when they do legalize it or when they do bring it into mainstream treatments, what happens is the companies that are involved in them will be very parabolic, the moves. So you don't want to be jumping in while it's in the parabolic move, right? You want to be at the bottom of that. So actually, that it's a good thing, and I want to post that link. I'll dig it up. In fact, I think I got it right here. I saved the link because I read it, and it's a really good story, Samuel. It's a very good story. Let me just post it here for you. Okay, got it. We got bumped. And that's the link that they're talking about in the office. It's a really good article too. So you guys go take a chance to read it. What we'll do is we'll prepare a little bit more discussion. We were planning on our weekend research. The team was actually going to look in to see if we could find some stocks on these. But we'll push it to tonight and see if we can come back with some ideas tomorrow and continue this discussion. Because like the office said, it's kind of important. It should be it's something that we should absolutely look into. I don't know if that link works. If one of you can try it. Okay. Did it work? No, I can't test it from here. But anyways, let's don't let the show be a bunch of quiet periods. Let's go enjoy Thursday. So for all you football fans, there's NFL football tonight. For all you people that don't want to watch football, there's great things out there. Look, screw the hurricane. There's still plenty of stuff to do. Looks like the rain stopped anyways, and we're starting to clear up a little bit. We're still bullish on the market. We think we're going to get a nice rally tomorrow. We'll see how it follows through later into the day, but right now we're still long on the Qs. We're still long on XLK. We're still long gold, and we're still long a couple financials. And we are long Snap. Talk about testicular fortitude. We have plenty. Okay. And let me just go through the talking points just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Apple, look, if you guys own Apple, man, hold on to it, you know. But other than that, look, you guys have a great afternoon. We'll be back Friday. Like we said, we're going to go look at some of those, see if we can find some companies or something that are associated with these magic mushrooms. You know, there's a technical name for them too. I hate to keep calling them magic mushrooms because they sound like an illicit drug when you do that. But let's hey, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while. I'll have the team tonight and see if we can find any leads on that, and we'll start our investigation. Look, we just said it, right? If you're gonna get in early, now is the time. So let's do this together as a group, okay? The team will go try to find some of those, find what kind of companies would be associated with this, maybe a little research on it, see how far it's gotten on the legality side. And yeah, I don't like to use LSD either, Jeff. That sounds really bad. People our age, we know what that means. Yeah, remember Abby Hoffman and stuff? Tune in. What is it? Turn on, tune in, tune out? I don't know. We were probably high on magic mushrooms, so I can't remember. Anyways, it was a different time in the late 70s. So look, guys, you have a great afternoon. So we got a little fun to have tomorrow. We'll see how the market goes. Let's see how these trades work out. Let's see how this snap, if we get a little follow through on it. You guys stay safe out there. If you're on the East Coast, looks like they're downgrading the hurricane a little bit, but it's still pretty strong. It's pretty massive. So you guys stay safe. Here in Hawaii, it looks like we weathered the storm. Aha, nice pun there. And if you're in the Philippines, man, watch out. If you're in the northern Philippines, there is a super typhoon coming. So we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys, thank you so much for making it a great show as always. We'll tune in tomorrow. We'll be back right after the market. You have a great Thursday night. Aloha.